This is part 2 on the basics of the loci of a helix. We are going to make use of a very basic cylinder with a diameter of 60 millimeters and a height of 120 millimeters. This is presented in third angle photographic projection, and the construction here tells us that we have to do a helix that has one full left-handed turn, and the height of the cylinder is equal to the pitch of the helix, and the cylinder is non-transparent. Start the helix at point P. Point P is at the bottom left of our cylinder. It's going to do a left-handed turn. As we have learned from our previous sessions, if the starting point is at the bottom, when we do our constructions, the numbering will go in the opposite direction. This illustration just shows us the body of the cylinder as well as the thread that is going to start at the bottom left at point P, do one full revolution over the height of 120 millimeters, which is one full turn, one full pitch or lead. Therefore, we're going to take the full height of the cylinder and divide it into 12 equal segments, while we remember that it is doing a left-handed turn. We will copy down the top and front view onto our workspace of our drawing sheet. The center lines are printed for us on the working sheet, and we are going to draw a full circle that represents the top view of the cylinder at a diameter of 60 millimeters, and we are going to place point P as indicated. Then we will draw an XY axis in between the top and the front view. We can make the spacing between the edge of our top view to the XY 10 millimeters, and also then 10 millimeters from the XY to the top of our front view. And then we will measure off the 120 millimeters from the top to the bottom of our front view, and we will then just draw the width of the sides of our cylinder, which will be 30 millimeters to the left and 30 millimeters to the right of the center line. And then we will indicate the starting point P at the bottom left hand corner on the base of our cylinder. We indicate the direction by drawing an arrow with our compass at the top view, and we make use of our 30 and 60 degree set squares to divide our circle into 12 equal segments through the center of the circle. Then we will label all of the segments from point P, which will be 0 and 12, and we will work now in the opposite direction as that of the turn, because as mentioned we are moving from the bottom to the top, and therefore we will lumber in a clockwise direction while the turn of our helix is in an anti-clockwise direction. Now we will project all of the 12 segments on the edge of our circle on the top view down to our front view, and these will all be light construction lines. We are going to do one full revolution on the front view. Therefore, we will divide our front view in 12 equal segments in height, which will equal the 12 30-degree intervals of our top view. We start our construction on the base of our front view. We can either do the construction on the left or the right hand side, wherever we have the most space. In this case, I'm going to start on the right hand side, so at the bottom right hand corner. I'm going to start my construction on the base of the front view, and I'm going to draw a diagonal construction line from the base corner on the right out into the open space on the right. This line is indefinite in length and at any angle. Now I will divide the construction line into 12 equal segments. Normally you will use your compass or your divider. I just make use of my scale ruler and use 5 or 10 millimeter segments 12 times. Each of these segments must be the same distance. After I've divided the diagonal line into 12 equal segments, I'm going to go to the 12th segment, and then from the 12th segment I'm going to draw a diagonal line that goes to the uppermost corner of my cylinder on the front view. This will be my guide that I'm going to use, because from each one of the other segments I'm going to go and draw a line parallel to that first line that I've drawn. And this will go on for each of the segments till I've reached number 1. So all of them will be parallel from 12 all the way to number 1. Once I've drawn all of these parallel lines, they have now divided the vertical right edge of my cylinder into 12 equal segments, and I'm going to number each one of these circles as number 1, 2, 3 all the way up to 12. Now I will make use of my ruler and I will draw a horizontal construction line from each one of these 12 segments that I've determined on the right edge of my front view. This will divide the height of 120 millimeters of the front view of my cylinder into 12 equal segments, and each one of these segments will now be 10 millimeters in height. I also have now created a grid layout on my front view. The first half of the movement of my helix is going to go to the back, therefore the thread will be hidden for the first 6 segments, and that is then half a revolution. We have achieved this result of our helical thread by taking the number 1's height of our first segment and aligning it with the first segment from our top view that we've projected down, and we have plotted a reference point there. Then we've done the same with the second height on the horizontal construction line along with the second segment that we projected down from the top view, and so we have carried on the third, fourth, fifth, and then finally the 6th segment. So we now have completed half a turn at the back of our cylinder, and now the thread is going to emerge onto the front side of our cylinder. From number 6, the second half of my thread will be visible and move to the front of my cylinder. Now that we see the second half of our revolution, from number 7 we're going to do the same method that we did. We're going to go to each segment as we have projected them down from our top view, then to number 8, which we've also projected down, correlate those reference points with one another, number 10, 11, and finally back to number 12, which is also point P in one full revolution. Here we see the result of our helical thread through one full revolution with a left-handed turn. We will make sure that we've done all of our constructions, so we go to our top view, make sure everything is labeled on the top view, that we've divided our circle into 12 segments, that we've projected our segments vertical construction lines down to our front view, and that we have divided our front view into 12 equal segments, that we've labeled all of those segments. And that is the end of part 2 on the basics of a helix. Thank you for watching. Once again, I say thank you to TurboCAD Africa, EGD Learning, and JPEGD and the online school.